Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Haidar Sadik. And yeah, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, good to be on.
I appreciate your time.
Oh, yeah. No trouble at all.
Good stuff. So you're would you say you're in Louis Greene's corner, yes?
Yeah, I sort of yeah, just cornerman, former training partner, friend. So yeah, just sort of joined his camp right at the end, just their last few days, like a week this time it was, just there for like support and yeah,
How
just
long have
there.
you been part of Louis's team for?
Well, on or off since he's been pro corners. I've made it to his corners. Where there's times I haven't been able to make it. There was a time we fought Cocker in
Lockdown time.
in Ireland. Yeah, it was locked down. I couldn't make that because it was locked down. There's been a couple of fights that I've like had clashes with. I like been away or something, but I suppose I've been there for most of them. Um, but yeah. But so I suppose yeah, since the beginning, really, because I was a pro myself and I was just a journeyman. But then when I retired, I think he turned over the following year, and I'd just done my coach's license. So I sort of joined him for a few corners, and then just gone from there, just like as friends.
Talk a little bit about you being a journeyman.
Yeah, well, I see. To be fair, with me being a journeyman, I that was the whole plan for me. Whereas most people they become journeymen just like by accident, because they plan on being like world champions and like British champions and stuff like that. And then they kind of like they're not selling the tickets or they're just not of the level to get there, and then they end up sort of just turning to becoming journeyman for the money. Whereas I kind of turned pro to be a journeyman because started boxing a bit late. I was like 24 when I started, and I turned pro when I was like 33 or something, like 30 something. So I knew I was never going to be like a champion. So I just thought, look, I can make some money. So just made some money because where I was training in Wales, there was a few journeymen there, and I just thought, well, they're making money from it. I can get to be a pro and I can make some money. I ain't going to be winning, but I got my one win. So,
Oh, so
but yeah,
at least you got the one win, which was good.
yeah. I got the one win. That's like that's the only fight I didn't get paid for. I had to sell tickets for that fight. Because the whole ticket selling thing is like it's
Nightmare.
yeah. You probably spoke to many people about that. Yeah, it's just it's the hard side of the sport, and I didn't want to be involved in that. I just want to make some money, show up as the away boy, just make some money. Um, but yeah, looking back, sometimes I regret the fact that it's like online that you got this terrible record online, and especially some of the stoppages that I got stopped, and I just
How
think
many times did you get stopped?
I got like stopped 4 or 5 times, and it's like I'll only say one of those times felt it was legitimate, and that was when Liam Conroy floored me, and he went on to become English champion, and like he fought Boatsy and stuff. So
Oh
he was a
yes, yeah,
top
Liam.
quality.
He was a good fighter.
Yeah, yeah. He's a gentleman as well. But yeah, he legitimately. I mean, if I was the ref, I'd say yeah, that was cool. But a lot of the other stoppages were just like really early, or like because of inactivity or like just nonsense stoppages. And I was like, so it's just like I do kind of regret it a little bit, but I made the money, so it's
That's the
nice.
main thing.
Yeah.
Name a few like standout names that you fought.
Well, yeah, it was Liam Conroy. I fought this lad who was Team GB. I fought him whose name's Jake Ball. That's Ball, and he was Team GB. He was fighting under Jimmy Mack as a coach, and he was fighting for matchroom. So I fought on it was Joshua undercard. So it's kind of like it was kind of a bit full circle here, where I fought as a journeyman on Joshua Undercard, and Lou, he fought as a like a way boy, but he got the win, the big win, just gone. So I mean, like, and again, that's on a Joshua card, and that's about 8 years apart almost. Yeah.
What AJ card did you fight on?
The one when he fought Cornish. And again, I got stopped there. And again, it's like if you can see what footage there is, it's like I thought the ref stepped in way too quickly. I thought he was stepping in to break us up, and he was stepping into it, and I was like, this is just like, but yeah, it is what can you do? It is what it is. But I mean, to be fair, I think he probably would have stopped me at some point anyway. He was such a good, sharp boxer, and he did end up stopping a few lads until till he like I think he got stopped himself at some point. But he was a big puncher, so he would have stopped me some point. But the stoppage there was just way too early. Give me a chance to go out on my shield, let me throw some punches, but it's life again, you know. You don't as a journeyman, you don't expect to be on the good end of any kind of decisions or like
Yeah.
favoritism from the ref or anything.
Would you say your best performance was against Curtis Gargano? Your win?
Yeah, my win was good. Probably but again, I, like Conroy just he knocked me out in round one, but up until that point, I think I was boxing quite well. Gargano fight, I had my hands down, I too low. I could have boxed a lot better. I could have boxed a lot better. I took too much damage in that fight. I actually detached my retina in my right eye because I should have had my hands up, and I just took too many shots. Even though I got the win, um, but Gargano's a tough lad. Have you interviewed him?
Yeah, yeah, because he manages all of the journeymen, doesn't he?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Thing I always said, it's always like I'd love to like coach a few journeymen, manage some journeymen down here in London, but it's just like that. It's not the same. It's like up north, those lads are just tougher. They're ready to take the losses. They don't care. They ain't so full of ego. But down here, it's hard to find lads that don't have an ego, and everyone wants to be winners. No one wants to be like seen as a loser. Even though like in boxing circles, as you know, there's like as journeyman, you get like a certain level of respect in the boxing circles.
And
But outside
mainly,
of
the journeymen sometimes get paid more than the prospects do.
Oh yeah, I'm sure plenty of times I've made decent, more money than the prospects. Yeah, definitely. I definitely have at times, especially on the smaller hall shows. Um, but yeah, it's just like, but as you probably well know, like boxing is not the best money in the world. You've got to have another job, so
Mm.
you can't make it your full-time thing. But are you going to speak to Lou again about his trip to Saudi? Because I mean, that was a hell of an experience out there.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, I'm getting him on soon, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I just want to talk about, you
Yeah.
fought at the O2. How was that?
Oh yeah, O2. Well, yeah, it wasn't too. I was on quite early, so that the crowd wasn't like crazy at that point. It was a nice change room and stuff. I was shocked at how little like checks or anything there was because I mean, back in the day, I used to like be a bit of a journeyman on like the unlicensed circuit. And I remember some of the unlicensed fights, like people would come up and like sign off your wraps to make sure they were like proper and check that your gloves were all proper and everything. And I was like, well, I've proper checks, but like I was fighting on a matchroom show, I'm sorry, maybe it's nothing to do with matchroom, maybe it's to do with like the inspectors and stuff. And but on a AJ undercard, and it was like no testing, no one checked my wraps, no one checked the gloves properly. I'm like, it's strange, I reckon I could have plaster of Paris in my hands or something. But yeah, it just seemed. But I mean, it was a nice venue, and it seems to be fairly well organised. But it was just like that side of things, just they didn't seem to care.
Mm.
So yeah, I was just surprised at that.
Mm-hmm. Moving
Yeah.
on to Louis. Of course, yeah, we got a first round knockout against Jack Mcgann, who was mandatory at the British. But I do believe, that win should make Louis now mandatory.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully they get him that fight, and he can have a crack at that because he deserves it. To be fair, because he's done things the hard way, as you probably know. There's a lot of lads out there. They just fight the journeyman just to get easy, to pad their records and have an easy way up, and that's where you get the low fights. Where Lou's like he's never really done that. He's fought one or two journeymen like after he's had losses and stuff just to get just to get but he's not really almost all the fights he's had hard fights.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, exactly. He's not done it the easiest way, but fair play to him. I think it's starting to pay off now.
Talk about the whole experience, like fight week in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I suppose it's like, see, I'm a massive MMA and UFC fan, and I imagine that it's like what it'd be like in fight week if you were in like Vegas for like a big fight, may I say like a Hatton Mayweather or something like that,
Mm.
because um it was just like the whole week was non-stop. I mean, from Sunday there was some kind of a photo shoot because we got there on a Saturday. The Sunday, I think like there was a fighters meeting or something. And then I got the whole itinerary somewhere. I can send it to you. And there was like Monday was like a photo shoot or something. Tuesday was like a press conference.
I think Monday was Grand Arrivals or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the grand. There you go. Monday was the grand arrivals. What was that again? That was just
But they just walked on the carpet and then
yeah,
done
just
an
walked on a
interview.
stage. But again, they kept us for quite a while before that. We got to like the Boulevard City place, the venue, way before we needed to walk out. So, and Louis just likes to sit in his hotel room. So like they had us out quite a while. To be fair, there was always like loads of refreshments, and the whole week we were on a resort with all the other most of the other teams. Uh, like Ngannou's team, Parker team.
You bumped
Um,
into Overeem, I saw.
yeah, that was at the press conference. I was at the press conference. I can't remember. It's a bit of a blur. But I mean, to be fair, when they first greeted us at the airport, they gave us a big bunch of flowers walking out. And I think where they didn't expect Lou to be like to win, I think they really brought him in as an away boy to take the loss. I think they really underestimated him. I think that's a lot to do with some of his fights not being online. Because I think some of if those knockouts have been online and people say how devastating a puncher really is, like that knockout he got in Scotland.
Against
Um,
Sutherland or Keane, because he beat both of them.
yeah, the first one was Sunderland, wasn't it?
Sutherland, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That was
yeah. I mean,
brutal.
have you seen that knockout?
Yeah, I've watched it a few times actually.
Yeah, where did you seen that?
It's on. I think it's on Kinnock YouTube. I'll try
Oh,
and
is it
send you a
on
link
there?
if you want.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Send that to me. Yeah, I want to watch that. Well, there you go. So, I mean, they should have known. They
He had
should
a
have
great
known that
fight with Gilly as well at York Hall.
exactly. And there was times that fight with Gilly that was touch and go for for Gilly because last round I think the first round as well right at the end and I do think if Lou had put the pressure on like he did in the last round from say round 10 onwards, I think he could have broke Gilly. I think he could well break him in the rematch if
Mm.
that happens.
But yeah, of course, talk through the fight with Jack. I mean, it was a quick one, but I mean, sort of, soon as the first bell went, Jack was sort of trying to get his jab off, but Louis was just closing the gap quite well, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I did, and you're right about the jab. He got his jab off a couple of times. And it looked like quite a sharp jab. And to be fair, Louis afterwards did say that that was his sharpest punch, that sharp, stiff jab, and you could see that. But once Louis got inside that and sort of timed it, I think it was pretty much over with Jack. I think the weight as well. because my wife ended up coming with us, and she ended up she was on a different flight. She ended up coming back with Hunas's team, and Hunas's team had seen Jack in the gym, and apparently had been cycling off the weight, like training off the weight, even day of the weigh-in. So like apparently, I think he really had a hell of a time getting the weight off, and he did put a lot of the weight back on, and again, I think that can be detrimental. Putting too much weight back on too quickly ends up being dead weight. And like Lou said, when he was hitting him for the body shots early on, he was wincing and making like sort of grunting noises. And I think that could have been he was weight drained, he put too much weight back on, and it was too much on his body. And yeah, I think that could have been part of his downfall.
Did you as a team think that you were going to get an early stoppage like that, or did you feel like the fight could have, because Jack's knocked out Duran Jr. He was built up to be a superstar. I mean, he is a good fighter, and it's a great win for Louis. But did you expect that? What I'm trying to say is,
Yeah,
did you expect the
to be
knockout to come that early?
yeah, to be fair, we did because I mean, I said to his dad, John, I said I think a couple of days before, to be fair, John, I really can't see this going out the first half of the fight. And to what I wanted to say I can see this can't going out the first couple of rounds. But you don't want to be too optimistic. You don't want to be like start saying stuff that starts
You don't
sounding a
want to
bit crazy.
overlook somebody, do you?
Yeah, I would never have said that with Gilly, to be fair. The fight with Gilly beforehand, I thought that was a good fight. I knew it would be a tough fight for Louis. I thought he'd take Louis, I thought he'd take Gilly out, and he didn't quite do it. So again, you don't want to be too overcommit, but I just could even being like realistic and not being too over optimistic. I just couldn't see it going out the first half of the fight, especially where he was hitting on the pads, in the gym because we had a separate gym there that we had our own times for because all the fighters had times in their own gyms. It was quite good. They had a ring in there and some bags and so yeah, I could see him on the pads and now just I don't think that was going to go very far. I thought it'd be a straight right hand, but doesn't really matter, does it?
Mm. So what do you feels next for him? Do you feel like the Gilly rematch, of course, for maybe for the Commonwealth and British, that would be made out for a big fight, wouldn't it? Big rematch for the British and
Yeah, yeah, I do think it was an exciting fight last time. I'm thinking it'd be exciting fight again if it happens. I do think the way they celebrated the end on the last fight, Gilly, they were kind of celebrating that he made it to the end because it was touch and go, especially that 12th round where Lou really put it on him. So I don't know if they'd be so keen to take the fight again, but I hope they do. It's the box office.
exactly. But yeah, anything you want to mention before I let you go?
No, no, appreciate you you doing the interview. Obviously check Louis' sponsors out. Two I can remember: Brawl Sports, Trojan Flooring. The all the rest are on his Instagram. But yeah, thanks again, and yeah, keep your eyes out on Louis. Big things for him.
100%, mate. And I appreciate your time and well done with Louis on Friday.
Cheers. Thanks again, mate.
Thank you for your time, mate. Bye.
Right, take it easy. Bye.